Today's show is brought to you by Privacy.com, where they're going to give you $5 absolutely free. Stay tuned. As seen on TV, products are all the rage, but how do you know which ones are super and which ones are stinkers? That's easy. We're going to tell you. Today's show is all about security gadgets, and we're going to start it off with the cop cam. According to the packaging, it can be a security cam, a body cam, a dash cam, a sports cam, a nanny cam, and more cams. Popping open the box reveals a tray that's loaded with goodies, including a small USB cable, a little mounting bracket, and an additional little clip, as well as a couple of screws and some double-sided adhesive. And of course, the teeny tiny cop cam. This is definitely a small little camera cube, and on the bottom is a micro SD card slot as well as a USB connector, and on the top is a single button. It actually includes a micro SD card, which is a little unusual, even though this one is small at only 8 gigabytes, but it's enough for testing. So it needs to be charged before we can do that testing, and I'll plug in the USB cable into the port and then the other end into my adapter, and we'll let this thing charge. The charging indicator is this tiny red light that flashes. Okay, it's fully charged, and we can tell that by the solid red light. And it's time to put this thing into action and see what it really does. So I'm going to set it down here and let it record. The footage is actually quite good. Here's a side-by-side shot between the cop cam and my little HD camera. The footage is good, and it's certainly enough to do surveillance. I also tested the motion-activated record, and it did record as I walked by the cam. I did identify one flaw in the design of this. They put the micro SD card on the bottom of the cop cam, so when you lay it down flat and you press the power button, it has a tendency of popping out the SD card. Not good. So for that reason, I think it's important to use the included mount. Now there's a base mount, and then there's also a clip that goes over to that, and then the cop cam will actually clip to that, and it makes a nice little sturdy mount. Now you can use the screws or the double-sided adhesive to hold that mount somewhere, or you could even use the clip portion by itself, and you're supposed to be able to clip it on a shirt, but when I tried, it did not seem very steady, and I really couldn't tell what I was going to be shooting. Now, it might work better on the brim of a cap or something that's more firm. Overall, the cop cam does what it's intended to do. The footage looks pretty decent, and it's in a very compact size, so I give the cop cam a thumbs up. Next up on our list of as seen on TV security gadgets is the Pro Security Alarm Set. It claims to be easy to install, has 3 different alarm settings, and a 110 decibel alarm. Let's pop it out of the box and see what it's all about. There's the alarm and the magnetic sensors, so let's get to it and rip into this paper. There's an instruction sheet, and it is marked as the Secure Pro Keypad Alarm System. A little bit different than what it's called on the box. It's basically the main alarm along with a magnetic contact. It's portable because it's battery operated, so we'll open up the back case and we'll insert 3 AA batteries. Close the case up, and it's time to test it out. Pretty basic operation. When the magnetic switch is broken, it triggers a chime or an alarm. So for testing purposes, I'm going to mount it right here on the wall over a blank faceplate that I have. Using double-sided tape, I will stick it to that, and then pulling off the paper of the adhesive on the contacts, I will put those on the door jamb and on the door. I'll enter the default code of 4 zeros, which can be changed, and then I'll arm it. In the chime mode, when those contacts are broken, it'll chime an annoying sound, signaling that a door or window has been opened. Flipping it over to the instant mode and arming it, it will blast the 110 decibel alarm once those contacts are broken. And we'll enter the code to shut that up. The delay mode will let you open the contact, and then it'll give you about 10 seconds to put the code in before it blasts the alarm. So I always wondered with these battery-powered alarms how easy it would be to just smash the thing and shut it up. Well, I'm going to find out right now. 2 hard hits with my hand, and it disabled the alarm. That is the last thing you want to happen. So, for that reason, the Pro Security Alarm Set gets a big fat stinker. Identifying lost or stolen valuables is important, and that's where the engraveitpro comes in. It claims to engrave anything with a diamond-coated tip. And if it's as seen on TV, it must be good, right? Well, let's check it out. Need to slice away at this plastic packaging to get to the engraveitpro, and once inside, we find the engraver, some included stencils, the alphabet, a sheet of flowers, and then some nice words. And they also give you a second diamond-coated tip. So the bottom part of the engraveitpro unscrews, and it takes two AA batteries, which will go ahead and load in and reattach the bottom of the engraveitpro. Pressing the little white button gets the engraveitpro going. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to try this glass mason jar and just do some engraving on it just to see how well it works. And while it's not the best penmanship, you can see my name, and it did engrave on the glass and didn't crack it. Keys are always good to engrave to identify what they go to, so I have a key here. I'm just going to engrave a number 3 in it, and it worked just fine. Using the stencils over a piece of wood was a little bit awkward, and I think part of the problem is you have to press the white button down while you're writing, and for me, it was kind of clumsy to do that, so it would have been better if they made a switch that came on and switched off, so you could actually hold it like a pen. The engraving worked just fine on the wood, and since it does engrave metal, you'd want to engrave something like a bicycle with an identifying number, anything that could be located if it's stolen. So the engraveitpro did the job, even though it had that funky little button that you had to hold down. So I'll give the engraveitpro a thumbs up. Safety and privacy go hand in hand, and making purchases online gets riskier every day. That's where privacy.com comes in. Imagine never having to use your credit card or bank account information online again. Well, privacy.com makes that possible. By using a virtual credit card at checkout using their browser extension, no one ever has access to your data. I'm not even worried about you seeing my virtual credit card number because I've already deleted that card and created a new one. You can even create a virtual credit card for one-time use called a burner. Privacy.com is the future of online transactions. I love it for signing up for free trials because there's no risk of being charged when the trial is over. Each virtual card is linked to only one merchant, and you can also pay for monthly services plus set limits on the card. And for double security, your sensitive information is secured using military-grade encryption. Plus, you can manage your entire Privacy.com account with their easy-to-use app. The best part? Privacy.com is completely free. It doesn't cost a dime to use their service, and right now, they'll even give you a $5 credit on your account. To get this special offer, head over to privacy.com/kipkay and get $5 on your account just for signing up. Remember, it's completely free to use privacy.com, so check it out today. I love it, and you will too. Head on over to privacy.com/kipkay. Trusted by over 400,000 users, it's privacy.com. Next on our lineup of as seen on TV security gadgets is the Everbright. This is a motion-activated, solar-powered LED light. Its claim? No tools, no wiring, no mess. Yep, I'm all about peel and stick, so let's check it out. We'll scissor away into the security packaging and pop the Everbright out. There's an instruction sheet and some mounting screws along with the Everbright. On the back is the 3M adhesive, which should stick to just about anything. I did find a little discrepancy in the user manual. In one section, it says to switch on the Everbright and allow it to charge for 2 days. But in another section, it says the Everbright should be in the off position while it charges for 2 days. That one actually makes sense. The brains of the Everbright is the motion sensor and dusk to dawn sensor, along with these 4 super bright LEDs. Flipping it on shows that it's partially charged and those LEDs do light up. But it's time to get it out into the sun, so I'm going to set it out here. Not for 2 days, but just for a little while for testing purposes. It'll charge sufficiently. And after a few hours, it's time to go ahead and test out. So I'll pull that adhesive cover off, and I'm going to mount it right here above my door. Now, during the bright sun of the day, this area will be illuminated by the sun, and the solar panel will charge those LEDs, so it's time to flip it on and wait till it gets dark. At night, the LEDs are in a dim mode, which is 50% power until they detect motion, in which they will go to 100% power. And as I approached the door, they certainly lit up, and the motion detector caught my movement. I also tried to slide along the house to see how close I could get to the door, and as soon as I approached the door, the Everbright lit up, doing its job. So for its ease of use, functionality, and bright LEDs, I gotta give the Everbright a thumbs up. The bump shield is up next, and this gives you protection against bump locking and unwanted entry. It claims to install in seconds, which is highly doubtful, so let's get this package open, and inside is the bump shield and a couple of screws. Bump locking is a technique using a special key and putting it inside a lock and then hitting it with a hammer, which causes the tumblers to fall in place and open the door. It's basically a stainless steel hinge that locks in place and replaces your existing strike plate. Well, I have to be honest, I tried it on 2 separate doors and the screw holes did not match up with my existing strike plate, so I didn't want to have to get a drill out and install this. And in fact, in one door it doesn't even look like it would work because of the way the door jamb is. The hinge would not come out on the other side of the door, locking the door in place. So this was basically useless to me. Couldn't use it, gotta give it a stinker. Finally on our list of as seen on TV security gadgets is the Dash Cam Pro. It appears to have all the main features of a dash cam, so I was really curious at the quality of this video for the price. The Dash Cam Pro comes with an instruction sheet and also a micro SD adapter card, a 12-volt power adapter, and also a USB cable that charges the battery, which is mainly a backup battery. There's 2 doors on the Dash Cam Pro. On one side is the USB connector, and on the other side is where you insert the SD card, which I have just done. I fired it up using my inverter and looked at some of the menu options, and it's pretty extensive what it does. Again, the Dash Cam Pro does what most dash cams do. So I brought it out to my car, and using the suction cup mount, I stuck it to my windshield and then plugged in the cigarette adapter, and we were ready to take a test drive. The footage looks really good. I was kind of surprised. I would have preferred a little bit wider angle view, but the footage does the job, and it is time and date stamped. And you can also flip the Dash Cam Pro around if you're an Uber or Lyft driver and you want to record your passenger area. It will work for that as well. For the price, and because it does what it's expected to do, the Dash Cam Pro gets a thumbs up. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this as seen on TV security gadgets tested video. If you'd like to check out more of my video reviews, click the screen. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.